So if there's a pain in your stomach, there's a pain in your head, there's a pain in your ear, there's a pain in your spine, there's a pain in your legs and stuff like that, the point is to establish a daily practice of gratitude and joy, and something which is going to give you peace, because the discomfort that you have before you is actually giving you this direction of getting more meaningful and getting more alert, more careful, and being more cautious around your health and stuff like that, because health once gone sometimes can't be replaced and stuff. Okay, so the monk says, or the prayer says, that if we pray and meditate only for perfect health, we'll never be able to produce peace and joy. So as a result of that, we have to kind of pray for other people and stuff. It's like a garden. If you have a garden and if you have only flowers limited to yourself and stuff, you're going to go out there, have your chai, coffee, be with your dog, be with your family. But if you have nobody visiting you and stuff, you're going to be bored after a point of time, and you're going to come back. So it's like having a garden where all flowers, all trees, all birds, all squirrels, all pets have a joyous time and stuff. So now the miracle, okay? So the miracle is that I'm in the practice of Buddhism and stuff, and I also do other things. So it's a personal story of, a family member of mine had a health concern, a back issue 2 years back. I'm not taking names here, but I'm sharing this because I see some development and stuff. So she was advised to not be moving around because of the back. And initially, I saw the dismay, I saw the despair, I saw loss of hope and stuff. And I saw, the overall spirit of the person going down. And then we all started praying for her. I requested my Buddhism great group to pray. I prayed for her as well. I also, advised her to pray and stuff. And every time we pick up the phone and have a chat, we remind each other to pray. And also the thing is that about sharing positive videos on recovery stories, like the 92-year-old lady who's kind of the champion from Chandigarh. She started a marathon races at the age of 92, practicing in the gym and stuff. And I think now that she's later in her 90s or something, she's got about 31 certificates. I believe it's a true story. And the second one is Mr. Fauja Singh, the Sikh from India, who passed away unfortunately at the age of 113 or something, or 104. I'm not very well versed with the age and everything, but because my focus is actually on the spirit and actually the attitude of these people. So if he wouldn't have met with an accident, he may have been probably alive. So how did he do this? So he did this because of the spirit. So what's important is to have spirit. So if people around you come and empathize with you, or they're full of pity for you, or they're feeling sorry for you and stuff, always a good idea is to tell them, like, you know what, I mean, I'm not going to feel any better if you're going to keep on talking about my illness. I'm not going to feel joyful about it. I'm not going to bounce out of it and stuff. So put a stop to this talk and this share, and talk about better stuff and give them hope. So the miracle is that 3-4 days back, as we'd increased the chanting and stuff, and it also chanted for about 2-3 hours, I got the positive news that there is a positive recovery, there's improvement. She's allowed to climb her steps and everything, and she's allowed to meet up with her friends and stuff. So for a person who's in her late 80s and stuff, who's been in the hospital in and out, and who's had a relapse of a health concern and stuff, she's actually looking far more positive, much more brighter. And because she's a family member, we're looking forward to her kind of meeting up and everything. Okay, so this is the miracle that we've had, and I've already shared this. I think my recovery has also been a recovery. I mean, it's been a miracle, because for the last few months and stuff, because of the weather and everything, I've been off and on, keeping unwell and all that. So it's human body. And my Buddhism group and other friends all over the world, including in the church and everything, have been praying. So you can look at me, at my spirit and stuff, and it's not like I don't go down. I don't kind of, I don't feel, I mean, I do feel emotional about it. Obviously, I mean, if I've been in and out of hospitals, and I'm meeting people whom I've not met, and my goals of my work, and everything, which I had planned for the last 2-3 years, have not happened. Obviously, when I kind of reconnect with them, I do feel a little emotional. But then I say, hey, you know what? I mean, this is life, and I may go forward again tomorrow, but who knows, So staying upbeat and staying positive helped me much better. The miracle was that I kind of disconnected from people who are negative. I started looking only at recovery stories. I started following and reading up on that, and along the way, I also realized that prayer is going to help me big time and stuff. And I still remember when I came back from the hospital and the doctor told me, I don't know if you're going to kind of continue going back to your gym or your sports and stuff like that. He gave me quite a grim picture. But fortunately, I was a little calculative and I had a lady doctor whom I would be calling up off and on for little stuff like a cough cold or a stomach infection or whatever. And she knew my entire history. So she was the one who said, you know what, you're going to get better. And I realized that my family had gotten disheartened. I was talking so much about my illness and stuff. It's very important to share, but the point is, what's very important is to not let it affect you and not let it kind of get you down, feeling sad. मेरे साथ क्या हुआ? Why did it happen to me? And shit can happen again. And what am I going to do about it? And I'm so sorry for myself and stuff. So self pity and the self victim thing doesn't work. If you want to come out of something, you have to kind of focus on positivity. You have to be joyful, you have to laugh a lot, and you have to kind of include spirituality and prayers in your practice and stuff. And of course, your mind has to be over anything. I mean, you have to be the master of your mind and stuff. And now when I see Steve Jobs and I see Mike Tyson and I see other people, I realize, hey, I think the same way. And I think what really also helped me was through my journey, I followed a lot of these sports stories and stuff. I could relate with that. Like in India, we've had Milka Singh, Mike Tyson, and, Jackie Chan. And then, of course, yes, one of them was Tom Cruise. Then I've seen stories of Tina Turner. And in Buddhism, I meet so many people. So the point is, when you live in the real world, you know that you may be prepared to do 100 things over the next 40 years, 50 years, or whatever. I may have a vision or a plan for myself and stuff, but who knows what's going to happen. But life mein jo hota hai, wo sahi hota hai. Whatever happens, happens for good and stuff. Maybe it's a way for people to connect with their spirituality. It's time for them to slow down. It's time for them to get more active, more fitter, more healthier. It's time to connect with the world, the environment, the sun, the weather and everything, because in a fast-paced life, we are forever, looking at health, we are looking at appearance, we are looking at other people, and we are kind of comparing ourselves and stuff like that, okay? So your journey is your own journey. So the miracle is this, a crack in the back to movement. So we are still praying and stuff. I'm keeping it personal and all that. And of course, there are so many other stories. I've already shared the miracle on its way. Somebody's, child was supposed to have a treatment and stuff, and the eyes were a concern. The surgery was supposed to happen and stuff, and now I see that child, playing every day and meeting up with me and talking with me about prayers and questioning it and everything. So that's another miracle. So prayers do get answered and miracles happen. So keep praying, and remember that. Your body will not be the same way. Your eyes, if they are good, your lungs, they are good, your legs, they are good, your skin, it's good, your back, it's good, your feet, they're working, it's good. So you're blessed and you're lucky to be alive. And the lines here are, your 2 feet are still able to take you to places. Muhammad, Buddha, and Jesus all had stomach aches sometimes. Sickness and death are a part of life. So the problem is that we are so focused only on greed and other things and stuff. We must pray for success. We must pray for everybody else's happiness and joy, and it's going to get multiplied and stuff. So did I share a few years back? Life is an echo. You get whatever you send out. So try and be intentional in your actions. Try and be useful, try and be purposeful, try to remain on the brighter side and the positive side, no matter how many evil or devilish functions try and take over or whatever. But the point is, be strong, be strong, and make sure that you're not indulging or engaging in evil stuff and all that, because it doesn't help you in the long run, So, love and luck and take care, have fun and have a blast. And the book is called The Energy of Prayer, and this is something which I highly recommend you. I bought this in college and stuff, so revisiting it is taking me back to so many of my memories and stuff and all that. Okay, so dump the AI way of treating yourself, chat GPT, dump that, and dump talking to weirdos and people who have a family history of illness and stuff, because sometimes they just package their illness and present it to you as videos or books or glamour work or world United Nations work and stuff like that. But when you go back and you research and stuff, you'll figure out that they've been a part and parcel of some real shit work and stuff. So before you kind of interact even with a online mindfulness expert and stuff, make sure that you don't get so involved in it, because sometimes you don't even know, they may be a fake person or whatever. So always a good idea to be in the real world, to meet people in the real world, have your own doctors here and stuff and all that, have your own psychologist, have your own therapist, and have your own family and community involved, because that's what helps the most. If I were in touch with a therapist who's, let's say, somewhere in Korea or Japan, and the person is not available, and I have a situation or a problem, I'm going to be in a deep spot. And research says that, and science and medical history says that people who are forever glued on to social media for validation and looking for therapy and stuff have a tendency of getting delusional and stuff. Okay, so it's like you're disconnected. So anyways, on a lighter note, be mindful, be full of joy, have prayers in place, have your community in place, and also include spirituality in your practices and everything, because that's going to help you the most. So the quality of prayer is important, the circle of prayers you're in is important and stuff. And what's really important is, even if nobody is looking, pray. You don't pray to impress people, so pray. Okay, so it's a weekend also, so pray and include other people. So love and luck and take care, have fun and have a blast. I'm on jkapani@gmail.com, justine@gmail.com, and justine@office@gmail.com. So love and luck, and reminder, prayers do get answered. You have to stay consistent in that, and you have to believe in the power of prayer. The moment you say, but how will it happen, because like a child questioned me, how's it going to happen? How can if the doctor's already told me I'm going to have a surgery for my eye, how can a prayer help me? So that was such an innocent question and stuff, but miracles do happen. Okay, so love and luck and take care, have fun and have a blast. Bye bye, enjoy. Yeah.